On this edition of Exploring Idaho, get roped into a sport that keeps this family riding high. It's a kaleidoscope of color at the Shoshone-Bannock Festival in Fort Hall, and one tribal member balances the traditions of his past with the rhythm of modern life. It's a beautiful scene high above the Treasure Valley. Thanks to the sturdy backs of these horses, we can enjoy Idaho's backcountry. In fact, this land would have never been tamed without the help of horses. For both Native Americans and pioneers, horses were indispensable and trustworthy partners in day-to-day survival. Hello and welcome to Exploring Idaho. I'm Dee Sarton. Most of us ride horses today for pleasure, but in Idaho, you don't have to look very far to find real, live, working cowboys. In the city of Caldwell, you'll find one family who's turned that cowboy way into a winning business. The bright lights of the Caldwell Night Rodeo shine on cowboys from across the country. Some have traveled thousands of miles to compete in national events. Events like steer wrestling, bucking bulls, and bronco riding. It's one of the biggest rodeos in America, where the competition between the cowboys is tougher than the ground below them. Mixed in with all the events is the competition of team roping. The goal is for two riders to run together and rope one steer. Here in Caldwell, a hometown favorite is Cowboy Barry Johnson.
How about Barry Johnson of Caldwell, Idaho?
A couple of hundred of Barry's closest friends watch carefully.
We want him to win.
His wife and family wait anxiously in the stands.
I get nervous. He never does. Never.
The pressure is big for Barry and his partner. Team roping is a favorite of the rodeo events, and on his home turf, Barry wants to win.
On the heel.
Well, it went pretty good. We didn't make as good a run as we could. We had a steer that was just decent, and we just went and caught him.
For just a decent run, the two do well. In this first go-round, they take home second place.
You know, you did the best you can, and tonight it worked out all right.
But there's a lot more behind a good run than just running and roping. A good run takes a good horse. A good horse takes hours of training. And good trainers, some of the most reputable around, can be found right here on the Johnson family ranch in Caldwell.
Hey.
3 generations of Johnsons work this place. The senior, Bob Johnson, has been doing it so long it takes him a while to remember.
Well, let's see. About 39 years.
He started in the 1950s with one horse and a love for roping.
Started out by, I rode at calves at rodeos, and I'd get a horse going, and pretty quick somebody'd want my horse, so I'd sell my horse. And then I'd go home and make another horse. And then pretty quick it just kept getting bigger and bigger to where it turned into a business.
Today, the Johnsons train and sell dozens of winning roping horses. Father and son work together as partners in business. And partners in the ring.
When he gets his horse settled in the corner, this rope right here goes back to the top of the chute, and when I pull it, it opens the gate.
The header, he gets the rope on the steer's horns as soon as possible.
After he ropes, I want to come into the hip of the steer and throw my loop. It helps to be roped with somebody that you've roped with for a while. You learn what each other's going to do.
It also helps if you practice. Again. And again. And again.
We rope out there together every day.
Because in a business where every second counts, constant training makes the difference between an average running horse and a winning roping horse.
Yeah, there's lots of guys that can rope tough, but they don't have horse enough to beat you. That's really what it amounts to.
Over the years, Barry and his father have all but written a recipe for winning horses. And they have the hardware to prove it.
I've got hundreds of belt buckles, I suppose.
An entire wall of the Johnson home is consumed by awards. Bob's won in calf roping and team roping. Barry himself won his first roping event when he was just a young teenager.
Get your rope. There you go.
And remember earlier when we told you there were 3 generations of Johnsons working this ranch? Well, the youngest is still working on his wrist action.
My dad taught me how to rope, and if he wants to, I'll help him learn how to rope. Good shot.
Good shots seem to run in the family, from grandfather to son, oh, and daughter, too. 10-year-old Cassie Johnson runs the ring with the rest of them. So it seems the Johnson family team has found a winning combination for roping success.
Yeah, it's a team thing.
Oh yeah, you get a good rush out of it.
It's rewarding.
Oh, I like to do it.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Well, the Johnsons even teach roping classes, so if you're up for all that action, you might give them a call, and we'll tell you how to do that a little bit later on. But if a leisurely trail ride is more your pace, then you need to get in touch with somebody like Gary Patterson with Bogus Creek Outfitters. Gary will take you on a nice ride, and it's just up above Boise. So, Gary, tell us a little bit about what folks see up here.
Well, we see a lot of things. We see a variety of plant life, beautiful wildflowers, and of course it's lush and green, and it's a lot cooler than it is down in the valley. We see a lot of wildlife as well. We enjoy watching the hawks that are pairs here that fly around us quite often. But
and you even saw a cougar the other day, you said.
Yeah, we have a cougar. We haven't seen him in a few weeks now, but he used to come down. He'd lay right there on the bank and actually watch us ride by on the horses, and it was kind of a surprise, but a treat for people too. It doesn't happen very often.
Well, if you want to get in touch with Bogus Creek Outfitters, stay tuned. We'll tell you how to do that and have more of Exploring Idaho when we return. Welcome back to Exploring Idaho. The early days of the Old West certainly were colorful, and I think sometimes we all wish we could go back, at least for a little while. One culture that does that particularly well is Native Americans. They celebrate their past with incredibly beautiful powwow festivals. And this year, on the Shoshone-Bannock Reservation in eastern Idaho, the powwow was something special to see. On the Shoshone-Bannock Reservation near Pocatello, Native American tradition displays brightly. Tribes from across the Northwest are gathering here, and over the next 4 days, they'll share crafts, knowledge, and skills in a celebration of culture.
It kind of recharges us because with other tribes visiting us, we know that our celebration is a big celebration, and we know that we would have to have a good respect in order for them to come here to feel safe and to enjoy themselves.
Hello.
In one of the many craft booths, Lucille Pocatello is sharing her skill for Shoshone-Bannock beadwork.
I watched my mother, and they used to work in night times with a kerosene lamp. It was pretty hard.
Using the same motions her mother did before her.
There's 1-by-1 stitches, and there's a lazy stitch that runs sideways.
Lucille sews baby booties and belt buckles.
We're the Shoshone-Bannock tribes that believe in eagles like these, and that's why I like to carry on with these Indian eagle heads. It's very important.
It is important to pass down this skill to members of her own tribe, but the festival is also a rare opportunity for non-Indians to learn about Native American traditions.
We have to educate the public, and you could learn about Rome, but until you get there, you won't really be so enthused about reading it from black and white in a book. You have to be there, you have to be at the scene and feel how the Romans felt when they were there in order to really get the true sense of feeling.
Here, the true sense of Native dance can be felt in a pounding rhythm. High-pitched song drives the footsteps of colorful dances. And soon, even the watcher feels the power of the powwow.
There are stories just about everything about the dance. The buffalo hunt dance, the sun dance. I mean, everything about life is related to the dance, and the music is the same way. There's all ages. When they're infant, some are carried on their back by their mother in a cradle board and the dance, and all the way up to the elders where they more or less hand down some of their stuff to the younger ones that are now growing up, and then they will continue on that tradition up to where they can become an elder, and then they hand it down again, and it goes over and over, and it's great. That keep that tradition and religion alive.
The powwow is centuries old. At the end of the summer season, a tribe would invite neighboring tribes to a festival of food, song, and dance. Together, they would celebrate the bounty of nature. And still today, costumes are marked by intricate beadwork, feathers, and brightly colored decorations. Spun together with the movement of dance, it's a dizzying display of pride.
We had a lot of customs and a lot of culture that they wanted us to throw away, but now they're getting it all back.
Preserving culture is the business of Rusty Houts. Just a short distance from the festival grounds, Rusty manages the Shoshone-Bannock Museum.
Think how them people lived them days, how they got along, what they thought. We just started putting this together like we thought what people would like to see. Like that fish trap there, and like the buffalo coat, and the different things that we put together, the fur display. All this stuff has got meaning to it. Even these pictures.
Early black and white photos of tribal ancestors cover the walls. The stern expressions are enough to make you wonder if life really was better back then.
Kind of makes you think that we've come a long way, and if we hadn't come this distance, where would we be now?
So as the Shoshone-Bannock advance toward the 21st century, they take with them this kaleidoscope of the past.
You'll go on strong, you'll continue going on as we pass it down. Hopefully we would never lose it.
I told you it was beautiful, and not only that, it's the largest Native American festival in the Northwest, and it's held every August. Thanks, Bob. So if you get a chance, go on over and check it out yourself. We'll be right back. I think we're going to go for a ride now, right?
Yeah.
But we have a lot more Exploring Idaho coming your way.
Matt, Mort.
Welcome back to Exploring Idaho. I'm with Bob Lavelle of Bogus Creek Outfitters, and Bob is a trusting soul. He's letting me drive these draft horses.
You're doing great.
You know, I love this kind of experience because it makes me think a lot about the past and how people lived, and this makes me appreciate really how hard it was.
It really was a lot of work. They spent a lot of time getting ready to move from one place to the other, and when you drive a team, you start appreciating it.
I know holding onto these reins, I kind of feel a connection to those folks. And that same idea has inspired one man to create an art form that gives him a connection to his past, and Jennifer Eisenhart has that story for us.
You look pretty good there, Dee.
Well, I don't know if that's the case, but it's fun.
All right, well, you know, just like holding these reins might give you a better understanding of how it was for early settlers. The Native American you're about to meet says his art form helps him understand his ancestors. Ramon Murillo handcrafts traditional drums. He uses all natural materials, just like Native Americans did hundreds of years ago. He says the process is a lesson in history and culture.
It's a lost art. A lot of our arts are becoming lost. My grandmother said that it's really important that you learn these arts before they die down. Once they're dead and gone and forgotten, then you can't bring them back.
In a grassy backyard under the tall shade trees, Ramon Murillo preserves the art of his ancestors. These rhythms and words date back hundreds of years. The message connects Ramon to his past.
The song talks about look at the mountains, look at the mountains, look how the fog sets around the mountains and look how beautiful it is.
The scene is set by this small hand drum with its design rooted in tribal history.
Right here you have 1, 2, 3, 4 symbols, and these are rain cloud symbols. And then up here represents the universe with the stars.
Everything lies in traditional balance, a balance that Ramon carries on today.
This particular one's alkyd here.
Ramon first learned from his cousin how to take raw natural materials.
See here, see if this is the right size for the frame.
And craft them into a finished drum.
This looks like it's probably a 13-inch size, yeah.
With elk hides and wooden frames, Ramon has mastered the craft that was once almost lost.
I don't use any chemicals. Everything is natural. I soak the animal hide in the river where there's running water. And then also, as far as the softening up the hide, I use cattle brains to do that, to soften up the hide. So everything's natural.
Even the paints used to decorate the drums come right out of the ground.
This particular color we use in our ceremonies and in our dancing.
Ramon starts by scraping the hide. His metal draw knife may be modern, but the technique is generations old.
You have to hold on to your traditional knowledge, your language, your arts.
With the hide scraped clean, Ramon punches it with holes. Later, rawhide laces will string the hide tight around the frame.
Okay, I gotta see if there's 8 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right.
Now Ramon uses sticks to wring out moisture. While he works, he remembers all the parts of nature that come together in this drum.
I have to make prayers for all of the elements from the earth that I've borrowed from the Mother Earth. I have to make prayers. Whatever that thing is gave up its life. So I believe that plants, rocks, trees, they all have spirits in them. And so when I go to the mountains and I get those things, I'm taking a life away from the earth. It's giving up its life for me so that I can go out and sing and help the people in the community be happy and feel good.
Practiced hands stretch the hide across the frame, and Ramon explains that part of the reward of mastering this art lies in passing it on to others.
My grandmother, she taught me about the Native American spirituality and the importance of being a community. And she said one of the good things that you could really do is help your young people. And by you helping your young people, you're teaching traditional arts.
So in his spare time, Ramon shows young show bands all the steps to making traditional drums.
It's really important that I help our young Shoshone-Bannock people keep our arts going and keep their education going.
From scraping the hides to tying up the final laces.
I'll just snap these two after it dries a bit and just let it dry.
Because within the rhythm of these native hand drums lies the heartbeat of a tribe's heritage.
For me to have that in place makes me feel really good because that gave me a whole lot of confidence and just made me feel good about living life to the fullest.
And Ramon also sells his drums, and later on in the show we'll give you some information how you could contact him and get one of those drums.
Oh, what an undertaking. Thanks so much, Jen. Well, now it's time for our Idaho Puzzler. You've probably heard of the Owyhee River, and that certainly sounds like a Native American name, but it's not. Do you know where the name came from? We'll have the answer to our Idaho Puzzler when Exploring Idaho returns. And now the answer to our Idaho Puzzler. The name Owyhee was coined after a group of Polynesian fur trappers. During the mid-1800s, the trappers worked the Owyhee River Canyon for beaver and other pelts. Natives in the canyon area knew the Polynesians to be from Hawaii and soon gave them the nickname Owyhees.
Later, this river, the canyon, and the surrounding desert were labeled with the Owyhee name as well. If you'd like information on any of the stories in this program, the team roping classes, the Shoshone-Bannock Festival, or the Native American drum maker, call for a copy of the Exploring Idaho Field Notes. Be sure to ask for show number 139.
It's a great day for a trail ride, so we're going to go off and do some more exploring, and we hope we've inspired you to explore Idaho too. We'll see you next time. Come on, come on.
If you are interested in a unique VHS cassette that really shows off our great state, you're in luck. Exploring Idaho has selected some of their favorite stories and put together a video tour of Idaho that has a little something for everyone. To purchase this special one-hour video cassette, call our toll-free number, 1-800-443-2461. As the adventure continues in the best of Exploring Idaho, Volume 2.